Hello, I'm Helen Normoyle, co-founder of my Menopause Centre, and I'm joined today by Dr. Clare Spencer, fellow founder of my Menopause Centre. October 11th is World Perimenopause Day, and in our chat today, Clare and I are going to talk about the perimenopause. And Clare, I'll start with a really obvious question, which is, what is the perimenopause?
Yes, great question, Helen. So, the perimenopause is really the start of the menopause transition. So, what's going on behind the scenes is when our periods start at puberty, estrogen levels flow up and down rhythmically during each month to give a regular period. And in the perimenopause, that start of that transition, the mechanism, the feedback, keeping all of those systems in check goes a bit haywire. And so your estrogen levels can fluctuate wildly. And what this means is your periods might change and they can become less frequent, more frequent, lighter. They can go away for a few months and then come back again. And you can start to experience symptoms of the menopause transition. And so women often don't realize that the creeping up of anxiety that they're starting to feel, that sort of feeling of being a bit frazzled, that they're not coping so well, flat or low mood even, is to do with the menopause transition. And things like hot flushes, you might experience a few hot flushes and then they might just go away again. So you really feel like you don't know whether you're coming or going in some respects. And it's usually to do with the fluctuation and ultimate drop of estrogen that happens in the run up to your ovaries completely stopping producing estrogen in the menopause.
Great,
Does that make
thank you,
sense,
Clare.
Helen? It's a bit complicated, isn't it? With understanding that it's the estrogen levels basically. It's physical changes. It's
Yeah.
not a deficiency in yourself.
Yeah, that's always really helpful to understand. And at what age will women typically go through the perimenopause?
Yeah, so that's a really another big surprise for a lot of women. So if we think that the perimenopause can last 8 to 10 years, that means that if the average age of the menopause is 50, 51 in this country, symptoms can start in your early 40s even. And I think that's a bit that often takes people surprise. Oh, am I having hot flushes? I'm only 41. And if you're going to have an earlier menopause, then actually your symptoms can start in your 30s. 1% of women will go through the menopause under the age of 40. And so symptoms can even start earlier. So, as we're always saying, Helen, showing how important that increased awareness of symptoms of the menopause is.
Yeah, and Claire, as you know, we did some research earlier on this year, and in that we saw that the more prepared a woman is for the menopause, the better her experience of it will be. And I think that's why it's great that we have a World Perimenopause Day, that we can, use our chat today to talk about raising awareness of it. It's one of the reasons we founded my Menopause Centre, is to raise awareness of the menopause so that women are more prepared and will have a better experience of it and can thrive through this stage of life and not survive it. So any other top tips for women as they think about the perimenopause and how to prepare themselves?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Helen, I agree. So I think awareness is key, understanding where your symptoms are coming from and recognizing them for what they are, I think is really super important. In terms of what to do on a positive note, then HRT is great, stabilizing the estrogen, replenishing those big dips in estrogen that you can get that might be causing particularly physical symptoms, headaches, migraine, hot flushes, as well as mood symptoms. HRT isn't going to be for everybody, so looking at alternatives. Are there things in your lifestyle that you can tweak? So, looking at alcohol, exercise, are you getting enough headspace, relaxation, meditation? All of the standard ways of managing the menopause are completely relevant in the perimenopause. But I think preparation is key as well, as our research showed, don't you? That if you understand where something is coming from, it can be much easier to deal with. It causes much less angst and
Yeah.
anxiety.
Claire, thank you so much for that. That was a really helpful overview of the perimenopause, what it is and when it happens. And we've got lots of great information and advice about the menopause transition, the perimenopause and the symptoms. And of course, we've got our menopause questionnaire. You designed the questionnaire to help women through the menopause transition. It's a really useful tool. It only takes a few minutes to complete, and it provides you with a more personalized assessment of if and where you are in the menopause transition, because very often women don't realize that some of the symptoms or things that they're experiencing are actually menopause related. And so the questionnaire is a great free tool for anyone to use to help them really think about, have they got symptoms of the menopause? And if they do, things that they can do. Knowledge really is power. So thank you, Claire. Thank you very much for joining us today. Hope you found that helpful. Bye-bye.